Yes. This is Tactical Red. Still feeling a little bit under the weather, not feeling 100%, but I'm still bringing content. This video is about Manchester United's game against Southampton, and also who are Manchester United's top 5 players in the team currently now. And this is an interesting question because who are they? Like, for me, it's a tough one, really, because who, obviously I'm gonna go through them, like, and might be some surprises for some people, but for me, the top 5, I'll have to start off with, obviously, Bruno Fernandes. Now, obviously, I'm not his number one fan. I'm a fan, but not number one fan. But I think the system has been letting him down more than anything. When I actually really think about it, because when I watched him against Besiktas, even though they're not great, the fact is that he hasn't had a player who can distribute the ball around the pitch, so he doesn't have to, because that's not his game. His game is to finish things off and score goals, and he does provide assists and everything like that. Don't get me wrong, but keeping it simple is not his thing. And sometimes in a team, you need players who can keep it simple, keep the ball ticking, keep the ball moving, because then you have more possession. You don't give the opposition the ball. You get to build attacks. You build momentum, and you build pressure on the opposition team with players that keep it simple, 1-2 touch passing like Van der Beek did. Yeah, so Bruno Fernandes needs that behind him. He can't, when he has Fred and McTominay, and we all know McTominay hides from the ball. Well, maybe some people don't know, but I'm telling you now, watch him. He hides from the ball. He doesn't want the ball. He acts like he does. He acts like he's this. He acts like he's that. But when you watch him, he doesn't want the ball. He actually doesn't want the ball. He hides from the ball. Believe me. So I'd have to put Bruno Fernandes up there, number one. The fact is, he's a goal scoring midfielder. I said this from the beginning. He is a goal scoring midfielder, and he numbers can't lie. Numbers don't lie. Numbers are there for a reason, because they bring evidence to the fact that someone's doing something, and he's scoring goals, and there's no doubt, creating assists and everything, and he's influential. His last couple of games have been better than what it was before the international break. He wasn't playing that well, but he seemed to get back on track, and he's a vital player for us. He basically is our captain. I don't know why Maguire's captain. I don't know why he is there. Period. I don't know why Maguire's there. Period. Because for me, he's not good. And then we have next player, I would say. So Bruno, number one. Next player, I would say, this is a tough one, because in my head, no one for me is really amazing at Man United, or performs amazing. I think that a lot of people have potential to be amazing, but there's no amazing performances right now. But you have to say, top 5 is David De Gea. You have to say it. He was slacking last season, slacking after the World Cup. But I have to say, he this so far this season, and he's obviously, his record before he started slacking has been amazing, and he's not made a mistake. I think the pressure on his position has definitely worked. No, he's done well. He's done well, and he's done well for us for a long time. And he had a poor season last season, but I'll let it slide. And he is definitely in our top 5, because if we don't have De Gea in our team, I think some goals will be going in, and that's the facts. And I like this De Gea that I'm seeing at the moment. I like the fact that he's coming off the line. I like the fact that he's being more aggressive in his play. I like it. I like, he seems more focused, and a focused David De Gea is a world-class keeper. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So you have Bruno Fernandes. You have David De Gea. Now, this is where it gets hard for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't even pre-planned who's in this, so it's coming off the top. Do you know what I mean? But I would say crazy because there's no one that's really outstanding for me. But you have to put someone there. I would say probably Anthony Martial. Now, yeah, Anthony Martial. For me, he's not a striker. For me, he's a left winger. You play him on that left wing, he can be devastating. Like don't get me wrong, he scored 23 goals last season, blah 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 blah. But all his best performances has come from the left wing. Like, for me, people say he has great movement. I don't see it at all. I don't see him making great moves. I think he's great at holding up the ball. I think he's got a good control. He can link play. But I think I'm not happy with a Firmino type striker. Yeah, I don't want a Firmino type striker. I want a guy who gets goals. I want a guy who's moving, who's hungry to score. And Martial on the left is perfect in that position because he's running up players constantly. I mean, the defender that if you're the right back, you know that you might not have a good day when you're playing Anthony Martial on that left hand side. So, for me, Anthony Martial, he does score goals. He hasn't scored lately, and he normally is quite clinical. But I think the problem with Martial is that he needs to see the ball a lot. He's one of those players that he needs to see the ball. He needs to be running at people. He needs to be linking play. And if he's not doing that, he's not happy. So he's happier. I think he's happier on the left. I know he wants to be a striker. I know he wants to be a number 9. But you know what? You're not. So you can be a top quality player if you play on the wing. It's simple as that. You can be a top quality player playing on the wing. Why not? Why not? You can produce goals. You can do everything that you can do up front on the wing. Okay, you have to track back a bit more, but you know what? You're not a striker. So for me, Anthony Martial is definitely up there as our top 5 player. And I know this is going to be controversial, but I'm saying it anyway because I think Van der Beek is up there too. I think Van der Beek is a player that we can't afford to drop. Like, I think Van der Beek is a player that we are looking at that I'm like, he has to play games. He has to play. Like, if he doesn't play, we're probably potentially not going to win the game. Do you know what I mean? Like, he has to play. He has to play. He has to play. Like, ball retention is key. He has quality. He's intelligent. He presses. He defends. He attacks. He's tall. He's strong. He can get around the pitch. He can finish if he needs to. He can assist if he needs to. Like, what type of player would you not? Why would you not want that type of player in your team? He's a starter. He's a starter. He's not a bench player. He is a starter. And you know what? Like, I'm just gonna say, Pogba's not gonna be in this top 5, just because the fact remains is that he's never been. For me, he's never been completely consistent, and that could be for many reasons. That could be because of managers. That could be because of team selection, formations. But like, I've watched. I mean, his first season was probably his best season. Yeah, but that was 4 years ago now. So I'm not even looking at that season. Like, that first season, he would have been hands down in this top 5 of top Man United players. But he hasn't played like that, and I don't know. There's many reasons for that, and many reasons for that. But still, I think I don't see him as a top 5 player. We don't miss him. Like, if you're top 5, you don't miss. You're missed if you're not in the team. Like, I think we miss Martial when he's not in the team. We don't have anyone with that high level of dribbling or like serious threat coming from the left. I think we miss Bruno when he's in that team because you know what? He's a leader on the pitch and he scores goals and he's effective in games. He's effective. I think we missed David De Gea if he wasn't in goal. I don't think Henderson's as good as him. So we'd miss David De Gea if he wasn't in goal. Like 100%. Do you know what I mean? And yeah. So I said, what? Martial, Van der Beek, Bruno, and De Gea. We miss these guys if they're not in the team. And I don't think we miss Pogba right now. I don't. I'm just being honest. I don't think we miss Pogba right now. He's a top quality player, high level player, but we don't miss him. And that says a lot. That says a lot. It says a lot. It does. But don't get me wrong. I would have Pogba in my team. I would have Pogba in my team 100%. I would. But we don't miss him. And That says a lot about someone. And number 5, and this is for me Man United's best player. Like this is my opinion. Like, and I don't care what anyone else thinks. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I don't. Number 5. Well, you could say this is the people that don't make that number 5. You could say Fred. You could say Fred. You could say Fred is vital, but if I want to win a title, I'm not sure if Fred is going to be my first team DM. He's going to be a very good squad player, like top quality squad player, starts games and whatever, but I don't know if he's going to be starting. So I can't say he's a top 5 player because I'm not sure he will start in my team. I can't say Rashford. I can't say Rashford. Just simple facts is I don't really think Rashford is that good. And, I think Rashford, I would like to see him more on the right because he did look decent on the right, I'm not going to lie, but I would like to see Rashford. Excuse me. I would like to see Rashford play on the right to see what he can do. Exactly. But I wouldn't have him because he's completely inconsistent. Doesn't finish off chances. He still doesn't produce the passes when we need him. Now he still doesn't do the right things in the final third. It's just for me. He would be a great for me. And I know this sounds bad, but I'll rotate him. I would rotate Rashford. He would not be a first team 100% starter until he can prove to me that he can do it every week, because he can't. So for me, I'm not having him first team starting in my team every time. So I wouldn't put Rashford in the top 5. That's the only really contender. So I would say, you could talk about Wan-Bissaka. I'm like, no. You could talk about anyone in the defense. Maguire, hell no. Lindelof is all right, but I thought he's not top 5. Like, you got to look at it like this. Who's going to go for the most P's? And Rashford would go for P's, don't get me wrong. Rashford would go for money. Like, there's no doubt about it. Pogba will go for money. There's no doubt about it. But how much would Mason Greenwood be in this market? Like, if Mason Greenwood said he wants to leave Man United, or if someone put a bid in Man United, what would we want? We would want at least 70 million, 80 million for a 19-year-old. Like, so you got to think about his potential. If he's already worth, I would say he's worth about 50 right now because he's still not proven, but I would say he's worth about 50. But for me, he's going to be world class. So I'm putting him in that 5th position and not top 5 Man United players, because I think ultimately when you look at his record, most of his goals have been important goals. It's been game-changing goals. It's been goals to win games or goals to draw games. It's goals to get the lead. It's been goals where it's under pressure. Like, he scores goals that no one else does in our team. Like, he scores pressure goals. Like, because he's a top quality finisher. Like, we don't have that in our team. Cavani's not a top quality finisher, believe me. Cavani is a very good player, a very good striker, but he's not a top quality finisher. I've seen him in his heyday. I've seen him miss bags of chances. And, he didn't even look clinical the other day. Like, he's never been a clinical, but he scores goals because his movement is amazing. Like, the movement is second to none in my head. But, he's not great on the ball. He's not like skillful or anything, and he's not a great finisher. He's just got excellent movement and anticipation and response and positional awareness. And he can header very well, actually. He's got a good jump. He's very athletic, Cavani's up there, don't get me wrong. He's still good for his age. He still can produce. He's still a bench player, don't get me wrong also. But for me, I think if you play Mason Greenwood as much as you play Marcus Rashford, then you will see what Mason Greenwood can really do. Because ultimately, Mason Greenwood's numbers is close to Marcus Rashford's without penalties and with a lot less minutes. Like, he's played similar games. Don't get fooled. The minutes is what it is, because he's come on a lot as a sub. He's come on a lot as a sub, and he only gets sometimes 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Like, compared to Rashford's minutes, like, Mason Greenwood is putting Rashford to bed. So, you know, when I know he hasn't been playing well lately. I know he's only got 2 goals this season, but he's hardly played. He's hardly started. I think the 2 games he did score, he did score. I think he started like 3-4 games, and at the beginning of the season it was poor for everyone in our team, and you know, he just needs more games. So for me, it's Bruno Fernandes, it's Van der Beek, it's David De Gea, it's Martial, and it's Greenwood. And you know what, yeah? When you look at those 4-5 players I've just said, yeah, when you look at those 4-5 players I've said, who wouldn't want to buy them? Who wouldn't want to buy Anthony Martial? Like, who would, like, forget about all the slander he gets about being a striker, because he's not. Like, it's just, he's not. Like, but people love attacking him anyway. But you're telling me Chelsea wouldn't take Martial? Of course they would. You're telling me Liverpool wouldn't take Martial? Of course they would. Of course they would. You're telling me what, Man City wouldn't touch Martial? They would. They would. You're telling me Real Madrid wouldn't play him? They would play. They would touch him. They would 100% touch him. Let him play on the left. You see what he does. You're telling me Bruno Fernandes, everyone's taking. I mean, not everyone would take him because of the way he plays, but there's no doubt that he's like £100 million player right now. There's no doubt about it. Like, there's no doubt about it. He's £100 million player. There's no doubt. Whether you like him the way he plays or not, he's 100 million. Simple. Van der Beek, he's a cultured Ajax Academy player. You know, anyone's gonna take him. Like, Real Madrid wanted him. Like, let's be honest. Like, Real Madrid wanted him in the midfield because they can see what he can do. Believe me. You know, Greenwood. You telling me no? I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now. Top quality managers are looking at Greenwood. I'm thinking, wow, I can't believe he doesn't play more games. Like, they're looking at him and thinking, you think Pep and Klopp don't put Greenwood up? They, trust me, if they had Greenwood, they would. If there was any type of, you know, way that they could get a Greenwood, they would pay. I'm telling you, they know, like, this guy, like, European clubs would like him. And it's not just his finishing. If you look at his hold-up play, his passing percentage is like 85%. And he plays on that wing. 85%. And I know it's just little taps here and there, but you know what, Rashford isn't that. Because Rashford is rash. Like, his name goes with him how he is. He's very rash in the final third. You know? You know, his pass completion is very good. He doesn't lose the ball. He's very good at, like, his hold-up play. He hasn't really been playing striker that lot to develop that. But his touch is good. His movement can improve. But he has everything he needs. And he's getting stronger. Trust me, people would buy him immediately. And it's just a shame that he hasn't been playing. It's a shame. It's really a shame. I mean, I saw something the other day when he was, like, you know, 12th best youngster in the world. And there's guys like Foden and Saka ahead of him. I'm like, wow. Saka. Like, don't get me wrong. For me, Foden and him are on the same level. When it comes to footballers, you footballers, Foden and him are on the same level. Like, out of all the English players, him and Foden are the best, hands down. Like, the young ones. Like, I think better than Hudson-Odoi is good as well, but I think Hudson-Odoi could develop to be that too. He could. But I think it's guaranteed that Mason Greenwood and Phil Foden are the best young English players at the moment. And you know, it's a situation where, like, you know, he came 12th below these Saka and other dead, a couple of other players that I think are not, you know, that Rennes holding midfielder, I can't pronounce his name, Kamdavinga, whatever his name is. Like, he's not that great. He's good, but he's not. I mean, if you do tricks in your own half, I don't rate that. Like, do the tricks in the opposition's half, and you're a holding midfielder anyway. Why are you doing tricks for? Like, for me, if you want to be that, you need to be more attacking. And I don't see him being like that great of a footballer, to be honest with you. But yeah, man. I mean, I think with those top 5 players. Like, if you see that team with the top 5 players, I think we need a holding defensive midfielder. We need a new centre backs. I think our left back is very good, Telles. I think our right back Wan-Bissaka. I think it depends how you want to play. I think you can't be too gung ho, like have two proper attacking fullbacks. But Wan-Bissaka needs to improve big time because just the ball retention and I mean he can improve. He can improve. He can improve. Like you just have to be patient with Wan-Bissaka because he can improve. He can. He's got a lot of attributes. He hasn't got the technical attributes, but he can improve. And if you had Telles and Wan-Bissaka either side, you just need those centre backs and the holding GM to sort the shit out. You know, and let's not get it twisted. Like we got Diallo coming from Atalanta, and he's a very technical player. Like we've got a lot of attacking players in our team, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer still cannot get the best out of this team. It's banter. Like yet that game we played against Bashikir, when you watch that game, like. Why aren't you playing that game against like West Broms and stuff? Why are you not playing that team against West Brom? It's crazy to me. It's really weird that he's this type of manager and that apparently has played under Ferguson and he's just scared to lose his job so much that he goes holding. And when we do play Southampton, if we do see McTominay and Fred back in that midfield, there's no progress, guys. Like, you want to talk about progress, that McTominay Fred thing ain't going to do nothing against no one. Like, that's not going to win you the league. Like, McTominay Fred ain't winning you the league. It's not. It's not winning the league. It's just not. I mean, McTominay doesn't even get in the midfield for Scotland. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And, I do think we're going to beat Southampton. I think Southampton have, after they got the top, they've hit the heights of getting to the top of the league. They haven't got Charlie Adams. Not Charlie Adams. They haven't got Danny Ings. They haven't got Danny Ings, who is basically the only guy who can score. I know they got that other Chi Adams geezer, but he's not as good as Danny Ings. So I can't see Southampton beating us. To be honest, I'll be honest with you. I can't see Southampton beating us. I really can't. I really can't. Like, I know people are worried about this game, but I'm not at all. I think, regardless of what team they play, I don't think they're scoring goals. So if they're not scoring goals, then I'm not worried about it. Like, we just need to get the job done, and I think we will. But regardless of what team Oli plays, I think we'll get the job done. So it is what it is. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I mean, for me, Pogba should be in that top 5, but he's not. He's not in that top 5. Man United players, just the simple fact that he's inconsistent and he has never been consistent since the first season of Mourinho, and he wasn't even. Yeah, he was consistent in the first season of Mourinho, but since then, Mourinho fucked him up and benched him a few times, and Ollie's benched him, and he's wanting to leave and this that. It's all mad. I think Pogba does have some sort of mental issues. Now he's injured apparently. I don't know how. I don't know what that means. I don't know if he's really injured. So. It's a madness, but yeah, I just hope we get the win. Obviously, unfortunately, I know us winning means Ollie's staying, it pisses me off. It pisses me off. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just sick and tired of going up and down with him, up and down, up and down. I'm bored of it. I'm bored of up and down, up and down. That's why I really want him to go. And if it means like, I just want him to go. I just don't rate him, don't rate him at all. Anyway, I'm Tactical Red, this is Tactical United. Everyone enjoy your day.